So it is a wonderful opportunity to discuss about Bhagavad-gītā in the early mornings, and which actually Krishna born in a Vrindavan. So I am fortunate to have Vrindavan Darshan. Presently I am in Vrindavan. We reached yesterday along with Guru Maharaj. Okay, so we go through it, verse number 33 and 34 from chapter 2nd in the matter of contents of the Gita summarized. Is from Bhagavad-gītā as it is, compiled by Srila Prabhupada. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Okay. Atha cheta tvam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tatasva dharmam kitam cha hitva papam avapyasi. If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. I will go through it word to word meaning also before purport. Atha, therefore, chet, if, tvam, you, imam, this, dharmayam, as a religious duty, sangramam, fighting, na, do not, karishyasi, perform, tata, then, swadharmam, your religious duty, kirtim, reputation, cha, also, hitva, losing, papam, sinful reactions, avapyasi, will again. So, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. It's a very wonderful verse. We'll discuss in further what actually sometimes we also say that, oh, I can't do, which we are supposed to do. Then purport. Arjuna was a famous fighter and he attained fame by fighting many great demigods, including even Lord Shiva. After fighting and defeating Lord Shiva in the dress of a hunter, Arjuna pleased the Lord and received as a reward a weapon called, we all know that, we heard that, right? Since childhood we are living in India, so we know that since we are birth, we call us as Bharatiyas. So he got a weapon as a Pashupatastra. Everyone knew that he was a great warrior. Even Dronacharya gave him benedictions and awarded him the special weapon by which he could kill even his teacher. So he was credited with so many military certificates from many authorities, including his adoptive father Indra, the heavenly king. But if he abandoned the battle, not only would he neglect his specific duty as a Kshatriya, but he would lose all his fame and good name and thus prepare his royal road to hell. In other words, he would go to hell. In other words, he would go to hell not by fighting, but by withdrawing from battle. So we'll go to verse number 34. Akirtim chapi bhutani katayasyanti te avyayam sambhavitasya chakritir maranadha atichayade. Akirtim, infamy, cha, also, api, over and above, bhutani, all people, katayishyanti, will speak, te of you, avyayam, forever, sambhavitasya, for a respectable man, cha, also, akirtihi, ill fame, maranat, then death, atrichyate, becomes more people will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, translation and purport by both as a friend and philosopher to Arjuna, Lord Krishna now gives his final judgment regarding Arjuna's refusal to fight. So we can understand by reading these two verses, we can understand that whenever we have a doubt, we just go through it. The Lord says, Arjuna, if you leave the battlefield before the battle even begins, people will call you a coward. And if you think that people may call you bad names, but that you will save your life by fleeing the battlefield, then my advice is that you would do better to die in the battle. For a respectable man like you, ill fame is worse than death. So you should not flee for fear of your life. Better to die in the battle that will save you from the ill fame of misusing my friendship and from losing your prestige in society. So the final judgment of the Lord was for Arjuna to die in the battle and not withdraw. Jai Grandamara Srimad Bhagavad-gītā ki Jai. So and so here in this verse, so imam dharmayam, religious fight, just like even nowadays also, if the soldier disobeys the order of the commander, the soldier is shot down by martial laws. So because to disobey the order of the commander is a sinful. So Krishna says that atasche tatvam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi. This fight is not ordinary fight. It is not the politician's fight. Krishna is saying that, so to Arjuna, this fight is not a ordinary fight. This is not ordinary like no politicians fight. We see India, Pakistan, India, China, and different now recently Maldives, India is happening because it's a political fight. But here they are fighting for dharma, to establish the dharma and to protect the dharma here. The fight is not ordinary fight. It is not the politician's fight. For the sake of religion, you must fight. And you do not, then swadharmam. If you do not, then you have been recognized by so many demigods. Arjuna got the Pashpatastra to test Arjuna's fighting capacity. So sometimes Lord Shiva, when Arjuna was hunting in the forest, so Lord Shiva also, as a hunter, he appeared before him. And when a boar was killed by hunting, Lord Shiva claimed that I have done this. So there was a controversy. Who will claim that hunt? I mean to say, killed animal. So Arjuna was climbing, and Lord Shiva, as a hunter, he was also climbing. Then there was a fight between Lord Shiva and Arjuna. So Lord Shiva was defeated. So he then disclosed his identity that I am very much pleased that you are here such a nice fighter. So he presented him one arrow, which is called Pashupatasra. Similarly, like he sometimes fought with Indra, he gave him some astra weapon. This was the system that a Kshatriya is presented. Arjuna is the adaptive son of Indra. And those days, Kshatriyas, their that how we can say is a Kshatriya. So because of the fighting spirit, based upon that, we can say that Kshatriya Dharma is to fight, to protect the Praja and religious activities and religion. Otherwise, so he is not a Kshatriya. So he presented him one arrow that similarly like this was the system that a Kshatriya is presented with a kind of weapons, and Brahmana is presented with Vedas. Brahmanas always like is they're well versed with Vedas. Their qualification is to become a Pandita in the Vedas. Like you see in Sudras and Vaishyas, it is not much prioritized in the important, as not given to them much. They're not very important. So they are there in that part. But so Arjuna was recognized by Lord Shiva, by King Indra, and many others also. So Krishna says that you have got recognition from big personalities. So if you don't fight, then not only you shall be religious, but also you will lose your reputation. See, the reputation also very important. Nowadays, we also give priority for like importance for the reputation, but our reputation, so it comes out of ego, which we feel that, oh, it is mine, I have done, it is, we are nothing. Those days, the kings, they used to rule across the globe, across the globe. So now, yesterday, it's like now I'm coming by flight. So I was in the sky, I was watching when we are about to enter into Delhi's like surroundings and all. I was watching from the top, everything is appearing very small, small, small. In that moment, it was clicking to me. So see, it is very small place. From top, it is showing, because okay, from ground you may see it is a bigger place, and we try to climb. Okay, this is my place, this is mine. Oh, we are going to establish ourselves, this, that, and all. But actually, in reality, we are not permanent here. We don't know how long we sustain here. Okay, we don't know how long we sustain here, and for that reason, why we are fighting? We don't know the purpose of life. So then immediately I was thinking, see, this is not our thing. We have not created, not our place, and we are fighting. And as soon as we are in the top of the clouds, I could realize that, see how big is God, how God is big, how much big God is. So because He has created this whole cosmic and everything, and He claims it is mine, we don't accept. We don't accept that. Krishna says, Maya Dikshena Prakriti Suite Sacharacharam. Everything is emanating from me, but we don't accept because of we don't have understand, we don't have that culture, we don't know the reality. So, and not only that, this world, He has created whole Brahmanda like this, millions of, but still we don't agree. So how to understand this knowledge? Because we are losing the Vedic knowledge and reading Bhagavad-gītā. We have to understand this. By birth, we have that right to know about the God, especially who born in India, that we should understand that. So here Krishna is saying that, see, you were saying you don't want to fight. If you don't fight, so not only that demigods will feel bad because they have given you good weapons, very powerful weapons, and at the same time your reputation will go down. So then it is not an ordinary job. Reputation is going. Then tatasva dharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapashyasi. Papam means sin or sinful reaction. So it has to be judged when sometime fighting is a papam means, actually we say the fighting is a papam, but sometimes it's a sinful activity, and sometimes fighting is a punyam also. How it is punya? Because if a kshatriya fight for the he fights for the protecting the religion and the religious this whole praja. It's his own dharma to protect the praja. King has to take care everyone same in his samraj, in the kingdom. He has to take care everyone same. All living entities under his protection has to be protected. Otherwise, this king is failed. So, and whose order the fighting was going on? These are to be studied. So, violence and non-violence. Our great leader Mahatma Gandhi, he wanted to prove from Bhagavad-gītā non-violence. He started the non-violence movement, and he wanted to support everyone, takes advantage of Bhagavad-gītā and tries to support his view on the strength of the Bhagavad-gītā. Therefore, you will find so many interpretations. We see there are so many Bhagavad-gītā readers are there, so Bhagavad-gītā compilers are there. So we should know which Bhagavad-gītā we have to read and what is the difference. And if we don't know that, then we are like, again, so we are going to lose opportunity. There are more than 600 publications. So during Prabhupada time also, there are hundreds of thousands of publications over there. Initially, when Prabhupada, he has like, no, he doesn't have money to print books. He struggled a lot. Then slowly, he printed a small Macmillan Bhagavad-gītā, the 400 pages. Then they have like, squeezed everything. Then Prabhupada was not happy. Some other he wants. Then he was pushing his disciples to find some donation to establish a printing press and all. So finally, he could make it to to have our own printing press. So then he named it as Bhaktivedanta Book Trust BBT. So now it's a BBT is having how many almost 80 plus languages Bhagavad-gītā available under Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavatam, different other books which Prabhupada translated and he composed. So in this way, Prabhupada started giving a proper knowledge, a parampara which connected to parampara and knowledge that he doesn't speak from his own words. He has just carried words from his previous acharyas, and at the same time, once devotees asked Prabhupada, "Oh, Prabhupada, what are you doing? It's midnight," because midnight type sound is coming. Type mission. He was typing personally. Was sitting. He'll get up midnight 12:31. Then from then till morning 3:30 he will type. So one day when devotee got up, but Prabhupada was not in bed. He was surprised where Prabhupada gone. Then he was in another room. He was sitting and put a small lamp and he was like watching and typing it. Tuck, tuck sound is coming. Then what's happening? He came and he saw that Prabhupada was typing. The next day, the next morning after Mangalarati and all other programs, and devotees were asking Prabhupada, what were you doing? And then Prabhupada was telling, I don't have much time. So I'm already now 70, like I have to 60 plus. I have to compose these books and to give this knowledge to across the globe. So then one day he was speaking to somebody, then midnight, I got surprised. Then he said, so Krishna was dictating, so I was typing. Then everyone got surprised. Yes, this is not my own words. So even I am reading these books because so I have to read. Otherwise, I don't know what Krishna says. Then until unless if I read, then only I'll come to know that. That is how this Bhagavad-gītā is very, Bhagavad-gītā as it is very important. It is connected to parampara. You see, any other Acharya books, you can understand the release, the translations, and purpose Prabhupada has given as per this present age. So then we should take advantage of this Bhagavad-gītā and tries to support the view and the strength of this Bhagavad-gītā. And otherwise, if we are not ready to accept this real knowledge which is coming from Bhagavad-gītā as it is, then definitely we will end up in a different place, which there are so many apasampradayas and other professional translators are there which they simply implicate their mundane ideology and mundane thoughts on us. So it will lead us to become again fallen. So one, like, there is one doctor is there. He's from Mumbai. His name is Relay. He has interpreted Bhagavad-gītā as a talks between a physician and a patient. See, this is ridiculous things. So we need a proper guru who is connected to parampara. Then he can give us real knowledge. So Prabhupada is condemned all these things. Nowadays also we can see so many. So many, because of Bhagavad-gītā is famous because of ISKCON. So we could see so many Bhagavad-gītā classes in online, which is not really coming through parampara. So these things are going on, but that is not Bhagavad-gītā. That is namno bala desyahi papa buddhihi nama parad. That we have like 10 kinds of offenses against the holy name. This is one offense. This is also offense, just like namno baladasya hi papa buddhihi. We say that Shastra says that by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you become cleansed of your sinful activities. That's a fact. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But if someday somebody thinks that I shall go on committing simple activity and chant Hare Krishna mantra, so it will be adjusted, neutralized. This is the most sinful activity. Namno Balat, by the strength of chanting, committing sin. So similarly, on the strength of Bhagavad-gītā, if one wants to prove is a foolish philosophy, that is a great offense. That's a great offense, and therefore Bhagavad-gītā cannot be interpreted by foolish commentators. It must be studied through the parampara system, Acharya Upasanam. Acharya Upasana means Acharya gives us, Acharyas only gives us a proper knowledge. Upasanam means which is the real subject matter. One must worship the Acharya and learn from him what is Bhagavad-gītā. Acharyavan Purusho Veda. This is the Vedic injection. So, who knows things as they are? Acharyamam Purusha, one who is under the guidance of Acharya. So, you won't find this foolish non-violence theory from any Acharya. Many Acharyas have commented on the Bhagavad-gītā. There is Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, they all connected to parampara. So, this parampara system is well known and recognized. We know that Ramanujacharya came from Sri Sampradaya and is one of the greatest Acharyas. He established Dharma during 1,000 years back. So he was having more than 700 sannyasi disciples and 35,000 disciples. And wherever he go, he preached Krishna consciousness boldly. So this is called Acharya. He never sees anything. No time, place, and circumstances, like Prabhupada, you see, and even Prabhupada disciples we are seeing in lively. So they don't bother. So time, place, and all. Their life is to spread Krishna consciousness. And Madhvacharya also like that. Madhvacharya is Acharya. He established 8 months to run and establish the religious activities to give us understanding about Bhagavad-gītā and Krishna. So they have well versed all. We know he is coming from Madhva Sampradaya. Because of Madhvacharya established, this became Madhva, and this Madhva also we are connected to. Our Sampradaya is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Gaudiyas, we are Gaudiya Desha, because this West Bengal which we came from, the place is called Gaudiya. So even Shankaracharya, he has given Gita Bhashyam. So but never said that Bhagavad-gītā is a proof of non-violence. He never said that. So non-violence is a good, but when there is a Dharma Yuddha, so we say, when actually those days Yuddha happens to establish only Dharma, but nowadays the Yuddha is happening to establish our own agenda, to satisfy our own ego, and to prove, to fulfill our own desires. This is called Dharma Yuddha. So there is one question of non-violence. Violence is approved. So therefore Krishna says that Tata Swadharmam Kirtim Cha. You will, by neglecting your Swadharma, your professional or occupational duty, and minimizing the importance of your recognition. Kirti. Kirtir Yashyasa Jivati. Anyone who is reputed for his good activities, he lives forever. Kirtir Yasyasa Jivati Bhaja Sadhu Samagram. Sorry, sir. Samaghamam Tyajad Durjana Samsargam Bhaja Sadhu Samagamam. Chanakya Pandit also says as Kirti, so who lives forever, one who has got reputation for his, one who is famous for his good activities. So don't try to lose your reputation. You are a great fighter. Krishna is saying that again. He is saying, don't try to lose your reputation. You are a great fighter, recognized by so many authorities, and so authority in the sense of demigods. He has got boons from Lord Indra, Lord Shiva, and so many. His guru Dronacharya has given a boon and astras. He can kill his own guru also, but in Vedic system it is telling that killing one guru is a brahmahatya. So then there is no satgati for that kind of persons. So, but here Arjuna has such kind of benedictions. So we are talking about such a high qualified person. He is telling, so I don't want to kill anyone. I don't want to fight. But Krishna is telling, you fight for the dharma, to establish dharma, religion. One who has got reputation for his own, one who is famous for his good activities. So don't try to lose your reputation. You're a great fighter, recognized by so many authorities. And if you don't fight, then people will say, oh, now Arjuna is finished. He cannot fight anymore. So don't lose this reputation. Don't be deviated. Don't be deviated. So Krishna is telling us also, don't be deviated in your own path to understand we are not this body, we are the soul. So stick for that. And some other, we have some fortunate enough fortune, great fortune to have Bhagavad-gītā as it is in this millennium. So after 10,000 years, we don't get that opportunity. We don't know as of now. Prabhupada also says that these books are law books for next 10,000 years. So we may not understand. So how we can understand law of nature? We should know what is law, what is nature. So without understanding the nature's law, how we will lead our life? We should know all this. So by reading Bhagavad-gītā and different Srimad Bhagavatam, then we'll definitely understand that what's the laws of nature. If we don't understand, then how do we sustain in our life? And we think that we are this body, we are not soul. So I'll give you one small example. One who commits suicide, they think that by committing suicide, this will be end of the life. So I'll be rid of all these troubles and the stress and all these things. And people commit suicide for different reasons. So by committing suicide, we are going to put ourselves in more trouble. Rather solving it, we are going to put more trouble. So we should know all this. Why I'm telling this example? Only by even normal death also we think that, okay, end of I'll live, and normally simply I'll just do and all something, and whatever good is, whatever I think that is good, then definitely we will fall in ditch. We should understand that. Now Arjuna is finished. Krishna is saying, if you don't do all these things, then papam avipayasi. You don't think that it will be a pious. You will, okay. You will, on the other hand, you will become impious. Papam avapasyasi. It was that this was 33 saying, and 34. So people will always speak of your infamy. Yeah, definitely. Same people will say that when you fight for Dharma, oh, you're like, protecting, when you're fighting to protecting the Dharma, people will say, okay, see, this Arjuna is simply fighting for Raja, kingdom. See, he's going to kill his own gurus and his own relatives, his own cousins and uncles and his grandfather and all. They'll say, at the same time, if you don't fight, then they'll say, oh, this Arjuna, he becomes so like now weak, and then in that also, in that sense also, he will lose his fame. अकीर्तिं च भूतानि कथयिष्यन्ति ते अव्ययम् सम्भवितस्य च कीर्तिर्मरणादत्रिच्यते सम्भवितस्य, one who is very reputed, famous man, if he does something wrong, then it was better to die before such infamy is grown. This is advised. Arjuna is a famous as a great fighter. Not only that, is a personal friend of Krishna. See, such a wonderful thing. He is a personal friend of Krishna. Not only personal friend of Krishna, and so that Krishna is personally came as his chariot driver. And who has such kind of friend, great friend? Arjuna has. Could you imagine that? Krishna will be your chariot fighter? And would you able to understand these people? Normal, we don't understand who is Krishna. So to understand ourselves, I mean, to about Krishna, for us to, it will take some millions of ages. But here Arjuna is so such an advanced person. He has a friend, such kind of thing is that Arjuna has his friend and he is come as a chariot driver. Not only that, so we have to understand that, just try to understand what is his position, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is worshipped by Lord Brahma. Brahma is worshipped. He says, Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. And Shiva, Lord Shiva, he also says that he chants once. Parvati Deva asked, we read in 4th canto, like Parvati Devi is asking, oh my Lord, whom you are on meditating. In Padma Purana says that, so I'm meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme God. And who is that? Who you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead? I'm thinking, no, I'm not Supreme Personality of Godhead. Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. I'm worshipping him. I'm meditating on him. So then she realized it. Then she started asking questions. He says many things. And Padma Purana, it came from Gita Mahatmya. So Parvati Devi is asking Shiva. She says that, I think we all read that Gita Mahatmya and all things. So what are the benefits of reading Bhagavad-gītā? Lord Shiva is narrating to Mother Sita, Parvati. So he has agreed to drive the chariot of Arjuna on account of friendship. And now we have to imagine how much famous he is. So we have to understand that how much famous he is. Everyone will say, oh, Krishna is so intimate friend that he has agreed to drive his chariot. This is your reputation all over the world. So Sambhavitasya Chakritihi. And if you don't fight now, what people will say, better you die. Krishna is advising that instead of becoming a very good man, non-violent, you lay down your life. That is my advice. You die, I shall see that you have died. I will be very much pleased. This is Krishna's advice. How much he has become, I mean to say, dissatisfied with the decision of Arjuna. Krishna is telling, better you die. Better you die. Why you're saying like this? So then Krishna is chastising Arjuna. At the same time, he is not pleased. He is dissatisfied. I'm not going to fight this battle. So Krishna's last advice is that if you don't fight, better you die before him. I shall be much pleased, very much pleased. Then what we have to do? So the spirit of Kshatriya was prevalent even say 300 years ago in India. There was a king, Yashomantasena. He was the commander-in-chief of Emperor Aurangzeb. So in one fight, he was defeated and came back to his home. So his wife heard that my husband has been defeated. He's coming back home. So she asked the caretaker to close the door of the palace. So when Yashomatasena came there, he saw this, his palace door is closed. Then he sent a message to the queen that why you have been closed the door. See those days, and we also see that those days, either woman fights or she also, if husband dies in the war, she jumps in the fire. That was the custom and system. That was the spirit of the Kshatriya. Even it is saying in the Shastra, in Kali Yuga it is degraded. So then why you have closed? He was asking, I have come home. So messenger came and informed that the king has come. So he's asking that open the door. The queen replied, who is king? Yashomanta Sen. No, Yashomanta Sen cannot become, cannot come being defeated. Yashomanta Sen, either he conquer the battle or he lays down his body there dead. See how much there she has the lady. Yashomanta Sen either. Then, so then man who has come, he must be somebody pretender. He is not King Yashomanta Sen. Okay. So she refused to open the door. This is the spirit of Kshatriya. So here also the same thing. 500 years ago also, then Krishna says that 5,000 years ago, Krishna says that you are so reputed fighter. And if you stop fighting, people will not consider, especially other commander-in-chiefs like Dronacharya, Bhishma, Karna. They are Maharathas. Maharatha means one fighter who can combat with thousands of men and alone. He is called Maharatha. As nowadays, the title as captain, commander, commander-in-chief. Similarly, formerly, Maharatha, Athiratha, these all like, Dasharatha. We say Dasharatha, he can fight and go and fight against 10 directions. So Maharatha, the greatest commanders. So Krishna said that you are recognized one of the Maharatha, so that the other Maharathas will think of you. They will not consider that out of compassion you did not fight. They will think that out of fear you have left the battlefield. They will say, take the opposite, and they'll say, Bahyad Ranad Uparatam. Out of fear you have stopped fighting. That's what we have to understand that. Okay. So what we understood from these last two verses, one, Prabhupada is clearly stating that, and 34 verse we are able to understand that if however you do not fight this religious war, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. So then what 34 is telling that people will always speak of your infamy, and for respectable person, dishonor this is worse than death. So we have to understand what is our real purpose of life, what is our duty. Being a human being and being born in India, we should understand, and not only that, we understood, okay, we are following. We have to give this knowledge to others. We have to pass. How do we pass? So we take opportunity and we give opportunity to others to understand about Krishna. So by preaching and by helping others to understand Bhagavad-gītā. So in this way, we become successful. We become successful in our life and we make others to become successful. So this is called Parodharma. Okay. So Hare Krishna. Thank you all for giving me wonderful opportunity to purify myself. And if I have spoken something wrong or against this Bhagavad-gītā or acharyas and devotees, please forgive me. And if you have any comments, please let me know so then I could serve you all nicely and wonderfully. Jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam to all
Dandavat Pranam.
devotees assembled.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Mata.
Nam.
Yes,
Hare-
Mata.
Hare
Jai.
Krishna, Srivats, Prabhu.
Anukul Prabhu.
Yeah. How are you?
Good Prabhu, pranams. All
Pranam.
glories to Vaishnava.
Srivats Prabhu is very a youth preacher. So he was preaching in youth actually. Still he is preaching youth in Mayapur and serving Guru Maharaj. Yesterday, Keshav Kripa was trying to reach you, Prabhu.
Oh,
You are in
I don't.
Vrindavan?
Yeah, maybe I don't know what times because I was. We took a flight around 10 o'clock. Then 12:30, I was in flight. I did not
Okay.
receive any call. Sorry, I'll call him back, Prabhu.
You are in Vrindavan?
Yes, we are in Vrindavan. Are you coming?
Not well, yeah, not well. That again, sir.
Okay.
Not well. So I'll ask him to call you, no problem. Thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhu.